Today, we're going to deconstruct a really powerful method for learning pretty much any new skill. It comes from a guide with a super interesting name, the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes Experiment. Now, just to be clear, the guide isn't about that famous social experiment, but it borrows its core ideas about perspective and structured experience to build an incredible roadmap for learning. You know that feeling, right? You're all excited to learn something new, you crack open the book or fire up the course, and bam, you just hit this wall of information. It's so easy to feel totally overwhelmed and just give up before you even really get started. Well, that's exactly what this method promises. Imagine having a clear path laid out for you, one that takes all that confusing, complex stuff and breaks it down into simple, bite-sized steps that actually build your confidence as you go. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off by talking about the challenge of learning itself. Then we'll get into building a solid foundation, check out the core learn and apply cycle, see how to go from just knowing things to truly mastering them, and wrap up with how this all becomes a system for life. Okay, first things first, we have to acknowledge the biggest challenge, which is that everybody starts from a different place, Some of us are complete beginners, while others might already have some experience. So how on earth do you make one system that works for everyone? And that's the genius of it. This system is built to be flexible. It actually adapts to where you are and where you want to go. So whether you're a total newbie or a pro looking to get even better, this structure is designed to work for you. Okay, on to our next section, building that foundation. Think about it. You wouldn't build a house on shaky ground, right? The same goes for learning. This system is all about putting in the prep work first, so you don't get confused later on. Right from the get-go, you're given this really clear framework. It's basically your personal roadmap. It shows you exactly where you're starting, where you're headed, and all the cool things you'll pick up along the way. It totally removes the guesswork. So, here's the big takeaway for this part. Before you even start doing anything, you prepare. You get a feel for the environment, you get your hands on the right tools, and you learn the lingo. Seriously, spending a little time on this up front saves you a ton of headaches down the road. Now we're getting to the engine of this whole thing. It's a super simple but incredibly effective cycle. You learn something and you immediately apply it. This is where the magic happens and where things really start to click. At its core, it's all about learning by doing. You're not just passively reading. You follow a simple step, you actually do that step yourself, and then you immediately lock in that knowledge with a quick recap. It's a learn, do, review cycle. And these recap checkpoints, they are an absolute game changer. They're like your safety net. As you can see, they tell you what you just did, they warn you about common mistakes people make, and they even give you troubleshooting tips if you get stuck, so you never feel lost. And the best part is, this is all about the real world. This isn't just a bunch of abstract theory. The whole system is packed with examples that show you exactly how these ideas play out in real situations. You see the direct result of every single thing you do. All right, let's talk about the next big leap. How do you go from just following directions to actually being able to solve problems on your own? This is the crucial step where you go from just knowing information to having a real usable skill. So here's how it works. You start on the left with these guided tasks, right? That's how you learn the basics. But then you're encouraged to move to the right, to these optional challenges. These are like mini projects that really push you to think for yourself and start solving problems creatively. And the system gets even smarter. It starts throwing curveballs at you, little variables that change the situation. This forces you to adapt your thinking and truly understand why things work the way they do, instead of just memorizing a bunch of steps. So for our final section, let's bring it all together. Let's see how this whole approach is way more than just a one-off tutorial. It actually becomes a repeatable system you can use to learn anything for the rest of your career. The real power of this framework is that it's built to scale. The same logic you use here can be applied to massive projects, to completely different jobs, and you can even use it to help your whole team level up together. And this right here is the ultimate goal. When you're done, yeah, you'll have a new skill, but the bigger prize is that you'll have a proven method for learning anything. You'll know how to break down any problem and just get better continuously. And really, it all boils down to building these 3 core habits. You develop a natural curiosity to keep learning, the discipline to stick with a process, and the ability to bring structure to any challenge. These are the habits that are going to keep you sharp no matter what. So it's so much more than a guide. It's a blueprint for growth. It takes all that confusion and replaces it with a clear, confident path forward. So the only question left to ask is, what are you going to master with it?